Hello fellow golfers. While I wait for the singles round of the Ryder Cup 2020, although being held in 2021, to start, I thought I would do a quick clip of the world #1 ranking LPGA golfer Nelly Korda, who of course also won the gold medal at the Olympics in Tokyo recently. I thought what would be useful would be to just touch on 2 or 3 quick points that one can learn from Nelly Korda to add to the plethora of other comparisons, pro comparisons that I've done in Ali's Golf Studio. Do subscribe, do take a look at the playlists and clips, as well as specifically on LPGA golfers. One of the first things, and it's a common discussion and even myth in teaching the golf swing, is that a lot of people emphasize that you keep your head still in your swing. Actually, that is less important than making sure you cover the ball. That as you hit the ball on impact, you are covering the ball. Your head can in fact turn, and Nelly Korda's does. And what that demonstrates is that the swing is a full body movement. It's a full body movement of your legs, your arms, your shoulders, your hips, and even your head, because obviously as you come through and follow through, your head moves with your swing to your finish position where you'd be upright and facing forward. So think of it as making sure you cover the ball as you impact, but your head can move as Nelly Korda's head does. A second thing to pick up from her that is very interesting and useful, and you can partially see it in the image that I put up, is that you think of it as almost 2 shoulder moves. On your way back, so if you're a right-hander, one shoulder move that way, and then on your way through, another shoulder move. So if you think of that swivel of your upper part of your body as 2 shoulder moves, it might really help you to understand that that's what's giving you, in fact, the turn. The width is coming from your arms and your wrist cock, and of course the follow through and freedom comes from your hips. But think of the centerpiece of your swing as being 2 shoulder moves. As I mentioned, clearing your hips is really key, because that allows you to really come through and follow through properly and not be stuck as you come through. So you can see in that image how Nelly Korda's cleared her hips wide open to give her that freedom to swing through. So opening those hips, in fact starting with your hip move as you do the shoulder turn down, is key to giving you that full arc and the full potential turn and resulting speed that you may want for the distances you're trying to hit. And then finally, as one quick thing that one is beginning to see with a lot of some of the great young golfers of today, your Justin Thomases of the world, for example, and you see it in the image of Nelly Korda too, is that actually she moves her front foot also slightly up. So she's jumping through, so not before she gets to it, as she impacts, she uses that jump and extension to give her that extra movement, distance and speed. So that in almost you come down as you come through onto the transition, and then as you come through impact, you jump and use that for that extra power. And you see that in the male game, in someone like Bryson DeChambeau, for example. Obviously, we're not going to achieve the sort of swing speeds he has done just by virtue of that movement. There are many other factors that go into it. But you see in Nelly Korda that jump and therefore that lifting even of the front foot to achieve using the ground for that extra energy, for that extra power. A couple of interesting things from a stance and position point of view. Take a look at the image above. Nelly Korda, on her chips, she uses a 58-degree wedge for her chipping usually, but she puts it well back in her stance. And part of that is to hit the ball lower and to have more control over the ball. So she's got a narrower stance, she's put the ball back in her stance, and it's a smoother straight back and through to hit the ball lower and control it more. What she says is that this gives her a very reliable chipping shot from anywhere, and then the difference in the length of her swing and the length of the roll depends on where she is and from what position she's hitting. And you wonder why she has such a great short game around the greens, even from the rough. It's because she has this one reliable shot. So something else to take away is get that one reliable shot for your chipping and master it. On bunkers, one of the things that she points out is many people, you need the club face open, but many people take their stance, take their grip already and then open the club. That's the wrong way to do it. Open the club face, then grip. The other thing is take a wide enough stance and squat, because you want to be able to be hitting the sand underneath the ball or just before the ball to get control of different distances and get that proper sand shot. So open the club, then take the grip, wider stance, and a slight squat with, of course, your weight on your front foot. Nelly Korda has a great draw in her swing, and she points out that she achieves that by really focusing that on her shoulder alignment, facing much more right, and you can see that in the image above, that she's facing much more right as a right-hander. Me as a left-hander, that means facing much more left. And as a result of that, it's sort of almost a close shot, and then she focuses on that in to out path. One of the things I've shown in other clips is one way to also ensure that you're doing that as you do that in to out path is to pull your back foot back a couple of inches, so you not only get more potential body and hip movement, but you're really then coming down in that in to out path. And that allows you to, of course, with the follow-through, achieve that nice either baby or larger draw, depending on your body movement and the speed with which you do that, and your wrist angle. Don't forget, you're trying for your wrist to be still aiming more or less just right or at the target line, not left, otherwise you'll close your face and you'll pull it or hook it. So think about that, achieving that draw, which often gives you the longer distances to a fade, by that slight closing of your shoulders to the target line. I thought these few little pointers from Nelly Korda, the world's #1 LPGA golfer, a superb athlete. Not that her sister Jessica Korda isn't great too, but I've done a clip on Jessica Korda. Take a look at the links above and at the end of the clip to check out that swing. Also worth looking at. Amazing family, the Korda family, with her brother Sebastian also being in the top 50 in the world tennis rankings, and of course her father, who was one of the best world tennis players. See you on the flip side. Enjoy the conclusion of the Ryder Cup. Happy golfing.